Semen retention is more than a physical discipline. It's as an energetic shift that transforms a man from being reactive and needy to calm and magnetic. At its core, it is about reclaiming control over your most potent source of creative power, your sexual energy, and redirecting it toward purpose, self-mastery, and higher consciousness. When a man learns to channel his energy into growth instead of gratification, his entire vibration changes. Women, being naturally intuitive to masculine energy, sense this difference immediately. They feel drawn not to his words, appearance, or possessions, but to the focused and grounded frequency he emits. This is the essence of attraction without effort. A man so anchored in his mission that the feminine can't help but gravitate toward him. Most men live scattered lives, constantly pulled by distraction, social media, lust, and the endless pursuit of validation. Their energy leaks through these impulses, leaving them depleted and restless. The result is a cycle of low motivation, unclear purpose, and weak presence. But semen retention reverses this pattern by conserving that vital life force and transforming it into power. The same energy that creates life can also create success, discipline, and magnetism. When retained and transmuted, it strengthens the nervous system, sharpens focus, and cultivates emotional control. Over time, a man who practices this art develops a commanding stillness. He no longer seeks attention. He commands it simply by being. The law of sexual polarity teaches that attraction thrives when masculine and feminine energies are in balance. The masculine embodies direction, purpose, and stability, while the feminine represents flow, emotion, and expression. When a man loses himself in lust or distraction, he collapses his polarity. He becomes uncertain, reactive, and dependent on external validation. But when he harnesses his energy through semen retention, he restores that polarity. He becomes the embodiment of grounded presence. The feminine, in turn, feels safe, inspired, and magnetically drawn to that stability. The paradox is that the less he chases, the more she comes toward him, because his energy exudes leadership and certainty. Focusing on purpose is the masculine's natural state. It is what gives a man direction, structure, and identity. When you channel your sexual energy into your goals, your career, craft, or mission, you become unstoppable. The constant need for female attention fades because you've found something greater to serve. This doesn't mean rejecting women or intimacy. It means prioritizing your evolution first. Women find this deeply attractive because it signals strength and independence. A man who serves his mission above all else is the one women respect, admire, and ultimately desire. Purpose is the magnetic force that aligns everything else: health, focus, charisma, and emotional power. Semen retention intensifies this connection to purpose by keeping your energy contained and directed. Every drop of sexual energy holds creative potential, the force of life itself. When wasted, that power dissipates. But when retained, it begins to rise within you, fueling clarity, drive, and ambition. Over weeks and months, your energy becomes sharper and more intense. You wake up with motivation, your mind stays clear, and your body feels alive. The energy you once lost through instant gratification now propels you forward with discipline and vision. You start executing ideas that once seemed impossible. You're no longer ruled by desire. You become the ruler of it. There's an undeniable psychological transformation that happens too. The man who no longer chases gratification develops confidence rooted in self-respect. He no longer needs to get validation because he is validated by his own progress. His eyes carry calm focus, his posture straightens, and his speech slows down. These subtle shifts communicate power far louder than words ever could. Women notice these changes instinctively. They sense his centered energy and feel safe in his presence. He is not looking for something from them. He is offering something through his groundedness, security, direction, and depth. This dynamic alone flips the attraction paradigm entirely. The truth is, women are not attracted to men who seek approval. They're drawn to men who lead. Leadership doesn't mean dominance or arrogance. It means being rooted in your vision and acting with integrity. When you focus on your purpose, you naturally embody leadership because you're guided by something beyond pleasure. Semen retention fuels this by strengthening your willpower. Each time you overcome an urge, you reinforce the part of you that commands rather than obeys. This internal leadership radiates outward and becomes magnetic. The feminine, which is drawn to strength and certainty, begins to orbit that energy. She focuses on you not because you demand it, but because she feels it. The shift from chasing women to focusing on purpose is a spiritual initiation every man must undergo to step into mature masculinity. When you chase, your energy is directed outward. When you focus inward on growth, it expands infinitely. This self-generated power is what women feel as magnetism. It's not about manipulation or techniques, it's about alignment. A man aligned with his higher purpose has no time for desperation. His energy flows upward into creativity and achievement, rather than downward into addiction and lust. The more you align with your purpose, the more attractive you become, because your energy is pure. It's not seeking to take, but to create. In the modern world, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. Society constantly tells men to seek pleasure, to prove worth through conquest, or to measure masculinity by external status. But none of these bring lasting fulfillment. The true masculine journey is inward, toward mastery of self. Semen retention is one of the most powerful tools for this because it disciplines the body, strengthens the mind, and awakens spiritual energy. It's not a superstition or a trend. It's biology and energy working in harmony. When your life force is conserved, your vibration rises. That higher vibration attracts experiences and people that match your new frequency, including women who value your essence, not just your looks. Women can sense when a man's energy is scattered versus when it's directed. A man who's constantly seeking pleasure gives off the vibration of lack. He is empty and searching. But a man who is channeling his sexual energy into his purpose gives off the vibration of abundance. He is full and overflowing. This abundance mindset is irresistible because it makes women feel like they're re-stepping into something greater than themselves. They want to be near it, to merge with it. This is the essence of natural attraction, not the pursuit of the feminine, but the cultivation of the masculine within. This is not to say that sexual energy must be suppressed or denied. Suppression leads to frustration, not freedom. Instead, it's about transmutation, transforming raw sexual desire into creative, intellectual, or spiritual output. Every urge becomes fuel for something productive. You write more, create more, and achieve more. You start to notice that women respond differently too. They look at you longer, smile more, and show curiosity. But the difference now is that you don't depend on their reaction. You're content within yourself, and that contentment makes you magnetic. Attraction has flipped. You no longer chase, you attract. The discipline of semen retention reveals a simple but profound truth. What you focus on expands. When you focus on women, your life revolves around them. But when you focus on purpose, women naturally revolve around you. It's not magic, it's energetic law. Your energy flows where your attention goes. The man who directs his attention towards self-mastery becomes powerful. The man who directs it toward validation becomes lost. This shift from external to internal focus is what separates ordinary men from extraordinary ones. When you master it, attraction becomes effortless. Because you're no longer trying to convince anyone, you're re-embodying everything they're already looking for. When a man fully embraces semen retention and purpose-driven living, his relationship with time changes. He stops wasting hours chasing meaningless pleasures or empty validation. Instead, every moment becomes an investment in his vision. His mornings are no longer about scrolling through distractions but about building something that matters. This sense of mission gives his life structure, and structure is deeply masculine. The feminine feels this subconsciously. She can sense when a man is building something of substance, when he moves with conviction rather than confusion. It's not what he says that attracts her. It's the energy of progress she feels radiating from him. Discipline and purpose transform a man's aura. You can recognize it in his body language, his shoulders relaxed yet firm, his eyes calm yet alert, his movements deliberate and unhurried. That's the energy of someone who knows who he is and where he's going. When semen retention supports this state, his energy field becomes strong and coherent. This coherence draws opportunities and people that resonate with his vibration. Women are especially sensitive to this. They feel safety and inspiration in his presence, which allows their feminine energy to flow freely. In his steadiness, they find permission to be soft, expressive, and trusting. This is the dance of polarity in its purest form. The longer a man practices retention, the more he understands that attraction has little to do with pursuit and everything to do with presence. Chasing is rooted in fear, the fear of not being enough, of missing out, of being unloved. But presence is rooted in abundance. A present man radiates the message, I am whole. Women find that energy irresistible because it mirrors the security they seek in the masculine. This wholeness isn't achieved through ego or tactics, but through daily discipline. Each moment of self-control deepens self-respect, and self-respect is the ultimate aphrodisiac. It is not confidence that women crave. It is the quiet certainty that comes from inner mastery. As your energy builds through retention, your perception of attraction itself begins to evolve. You start realizing that true connection isn't about seduction but resonance. You don't need to impress women. You need to embody what they are naturally drawn to: purpose, strength, and authenticity. When you're aligned with your purpose, your words, actions, and energy all point in one direction. That unity of intent is rare in today's fragmented world, and that rarity makes you stand out without trying. The woman who once ignored your messages now feels your energy when you walk by. It's not manipulation, it's magnetism born from inner harmony. But here's the paradox. The moment you practice semen retention just to get women, it stops working. The energy of need negates the energy of attraction. Retention only amplifies who you already are. If you do it with a needy mindset, it enhances your restlessness. If you do it with purpose, it enhances your power. That's why intention is everything. When your retention is rooted in your desire to evolve, not impress. The universe aligns with your growth. The feminine doesn't respond to the act of retention itself. She responds to the energy it produces: calm confidence, clarity, and unshakable direction. Purpose gives semen retention meaning, and retention gives purpose power. Together, they create a feedback loop of masculine excellence. Each day you hold your energy, you gain momentum. Each goal you achieve, your energy refines further. Slowly, your desires evolve from instant gratification to long-term fulfillment. You begin to crave legacy over lust, growth over gossip, mastery over mediocrity. This shift changes your entire vibration, and that vibration changes what you attract. Suddenly, the women who once drained your energy lose their appeal, and the ones who share your vision begin to appear. Your external world starts reflecting your internal discipline. Semen retention also enhances intuition, something most men underestimate. When your energy is not constantly leaking, your awareness sharpens. You begin to notice subtle cues in people, in situations, in opportunities. Your instincts strengthen, your timing improves, and your decision-making becomes precise. This intuitive edge extends to your relationships as well. You can sense when someone is genuine or when they're playing games. This awareness protects your energy and saves you from unnecessary emotional entanglements. As a result, your relationships become cleaner, more authentic, and more aligned with your purpose. The women who come into your life now do so out of resonance, not manipulation. At its deepest level, semen retention isn't about avoiding women or pleasure. It's about mastering energy exchange. In a sexual act, two energies merge. If you are full and centered, you uplift your partner. If you are depleted, you drain both. When you retain and circulate your life force, you bring depth to intimacy. You stop viewing sex as an escape and start seeing it as sacred. Women feel this difference immediately. They sense the maturity in your touch, the awareness in your presence. You no longer chase pleasure. You share it consciously. This shift transforms not only attraction, but the entire experience of love itself. Over time, you realize that semen retention is not just a physical or mental discipline, it is a spiritual path. It's a practice that teaches patience, awareness, and detachment. You learn to harness desire without being enslaved by it. You discover that your greatest power lies not in how much you can take from life, but how much you can create through controlled energy. Every retained drop of life force becomes fuel for clarity, vision, and purpose. The more you master this process, the more you embody masculine wholeness, grounded, peaceful, and powerful. Women don't chase this kind of man because he doesn't run. They align with him because he stands still in truth. The energy you build through retention also transforms how others perceive you beyond romantic dynamics. Friends, colleagues, and even strangers begin to respond differently. They feel your focus and reliability. Your presence alone starts commanding respect. People may not consciously understand it, but they sense a powerful calm around you. You become someone others naturally trust and want to follow. This is the ripple effect of masculine mastery. When you control your inner world, the outer world arranges itself around your vibration. What begins as a private practice becomes a public transformation. This doesn't mean the journey is easy. The path of semen retention and purpose-driven living tests your patience and discipline constantly. You'll face urges, distractions, and doubts. But each challenge is an invitation to grow stronger. Every time you overcome temptation, you prove to yourself that you are more than your impulses. This is how self-belief is built, not through affirmations, but through consistent action. Over time, this resilience becomes part of your identity. You become the man who keeps promises to himself, and that reliability radiates outward. The feminine senses it instantly. It's the energy of trustworthiness and stability. Ultimately, semen retention is not about superiority or control. It's about harmony. It's about aligning the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of masculinity so that your energy flows cleanly through purpose. When you live this way, you no longer chase because there is nothing missing. You are complete, and completion is magnetic. Women respond to that wholeness because it reflects what they seek within themselves, a steady presence that allows their energy to bloom. This is attraction at its highest form, not a game, but a natural consequence of becoming who you're meant to be. When you focus on your purpose, she focuses on you, not because you demand it, but because your energy calls it forth. Your purpose becomes your gravity, pulling everything aligned with it closer. The stronger your direction, the stronger your attraction. Semen retention is simply the vessel that holds that power. Through discipline, you become dangerous in the best way, not through aggression, but through presence. You stop being a man who seeks and become a man who is. That's the secret. When you master yourself, the world, and the feminine naturally follows your lead. If you took a single ounce of value from this video, here's your next step. Like this video so we can reach more people, and subscribe to lock in your spot for our next level up session. You absolutely cannot miss what's coming next week. Tell me where you're watching from. It helps me connect with the global tribe we're building. For deep dives, personal growth insights, and direct interaction, join our Telegram channel, link below. This message is too important to hoard. Share it now with a friend whose potential is still untapped. See you on the path to mastery.